The light was all wrong. With the sun low on the horizon, it was that strange, tainted gold that comes only in the dying hour. Black clouds swelled as if a hand reached over the hills, clawing and flashing with sudden violence. In the last moments before it struck, in the stables, the couple faced one another. Aeneas squinted against that sickly sun. He made himself busy with the third horse he had brought out to draw his racing chariot. The first two were snorting, held by the straps and central bar. The whole contraption weighed no more than a child. It was painted black and gold, and every part had been made lighter, shaved down by masters. When he whipped those reins and drove the four horses to a gallop, no one in the world could catch him. The mount was skittish and tried to rear. Aeneas slapped it hard across the nose. He had no time for its foolishness. They were prey animals, stupid creatures. The horse was afraid of him. Right to be if he lost his temper. Aeneas had to lead it in a tight circle as it skittered and stepped, refusing to stand alongside the others. Those two were a matched pair, named Castor and Pollux. He had been offered a fortune just to breed from them, and turned it down. The senator he refused had made some comment about his family under his breath. Aeneas had bedded the fellow's wife a week later. He smiled at the flash of memory, though it was laced with bitterness. The air was humid and dense with heat. It seemed to press him down so that his anger grew like the storm clouds. Aeneas looked at his wife and knew she hated him. Yet somehow he was still expected to die for her. "Are you not going to speak?" she demanded. "Let the boy see to your horses. Are you going to Rome or not? If you run, Barbo, you'll kill us both." She pressed a hand to the womb they had thought would never fill, that had been empty for 9 long years of marriage. He looked where she touched. She twisted him like a rope sometimes. "Don't call me Barbo," he muttered. "That is for my friends." As he spoke, he accepted a set of reins from a slave. The third horse had quieted, allowing him to back it into the traces. Aeneas heaved the straps tight, and 3 mounts nodded and snapped at one another as the fourth was brought out, whinnying, calling. They wanted to run, just as he did. Aeneas waved the slave away as he took the last one. He needed no help. He rode every day as befitted one of his class. Perhaps, too, he was aware of ears listening to every word. Half the city seemed to know his business, he thought sourly. Nothing was private. That was another thing Agrippina would not understand. "Should I call you Dominus?" she asked with deceptive sweetness. "Or should I greet you with Salve, Magister, as my teacher? I was but a child when we met, after all." He rounded on her, fast enough to make her flinch. Aeneas was a man of great physical strength, but he moved with unusual grace. He saw the way she flushed and thought how beautiful she was, how afraid. He grabbed her wrist with his free hand and felt bones move under his grip. He was a soldier, an equite, a wealthy man. Though she was 22 years old, there were times when she was still the girl of 13 her family had given to his. "I never asked for you, Agrippina. It was your mother who flattered my family until the milk curdled, as I recall, so play no games with me. Not when you're asking me to go to my death for you, or you might just find it is a little too much." "Then if you won't do it for me, do it for the child in me." She took his hand and moved it onto the swell of her, pressing too hard. There was madness in this woman, he thought. He wondered if the child would even survive its mother. When he felt a kick in the womb, he pulled back with a jerk. "You know what will happen, wife, if I ride up the Appian Way into Rome? You know what Sejanus will do?" "I know what he would do if you run," she said. She was very pale. He ached for her arms around him just once, some sign that she had any affection for him at all. It would surely make it easier. His mother had told him she would grow to love him in time, but that had been false. For all Agrippina was afraid of him, she still treated him with contempt. Aeneas had lived with neither love nor kindness from his wife. All his anger was not much comfort in comparison to that.